Welcome to Kako Moto, and it's me, Kako. So today I'm gonna do something new. Um, for those of you who don't know, there's actually a website that I follow on Facebook. It's called Big Bikes Only Sell and Buy, and it's absolutely amazing. As in, I can spend hours and hours just going through it and looking at all these bikes and wondering what if. And honestly, it's also the site I use to sell all my bikes. So what we're gonna do now is a new segment I call the bikes I'd buy. So we'll go through the site a little bit and we'll look for some bikes that I myself would buy if I had the money. So I hope that this would help you. Maybe if you're looking for a bike and you want to get into riding, this is something that you would want to be interested in. So let me know. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, you can subscribe on my Facebook page, or you can also subscribe on my YouTube page. So here we go. So this is the website, Big Bikes Only Sell, Buy, or Swap Philippines. It's a public group, so you can join it. And let's start going through the bikes. And I love going through bikes. I mean, here, look at this one. This one's a Ducati 795 at 450,000. It's in Cavite. Suzuki Bandits. They even have brand new bikes here, like this one. This one's a brand new bike. So let's just go through it and see if there's anything here that really interests me. Wow, okay, so this one's interesting. This one's a Husqvarna Terra 650. It's a TR650. The interesting thing about the Husqvarna TR650 is that this was the bike produced by Husqvarna when they were owned by BMW. It's the bike I had before I bought my KTM 990 SMT, and it's a really good bike for its price. Like right now, you see the price here is it's 220,000 pesos, and what you get for that? For that price, you get a dual sport semi-adventure motorcycle with a 650cc single-cylinder engine. Here, this one has 18,000 kilometers on its clock, which is relatively low for a 2014 model. And especially for a bike like this, where a lot of people really do take them out and really go really far. I used to have one. Some issues with the bike. First, there's a little bit of a stalling issue. It's a known issue with Husqvarna, so if you're in the market for this, just take note, you have to give it a little bit more throttle than you're used to, especially when you're coming up from a stop if you don't want to stall. So it can be a little bit embarrassing sometimes and a little bit dangerous on other times. But other than that, it's fixable. You can get, I think, a Ferrari injector by Bosch and they'll be able to fix it. But yeah, if you do decide to get a Husqvarna TR650, let me know. This is one of my favorite bikes I've owned because it's very, very, very light and you can go really far and it's just a good bike. Expect to do about maybe 120 kilometers an hour would be comfy. Anything more would be just a little bit not what this bike is made for. So let's look some photos. So it looks like it's in pretty good nick. Yeah, and his kids there. Got some good accessories. He's got lights, accessory lights. He's got engine guard. I didn't have those engine guards. And he's got an aftermarket windshield, which should help on the highway. And unfortunately, this bike's just not meant so much for highway use, but it's a very capable off-roader. But in this case, sorry, I just noticed, he's got street tires on it. So this should actually help with the stability and high speed. So let's keep going and see. Super 4. Okay, the CB400 Super 4. This is my recommendation if you want to get into big bikes. If you want a first bike and you want something that is easy to maintain, relatively cheap, and powerful. And nothing sounds better than an inline 4 Japanese motorcycle. So if you see here, this CB400 Super 4, it's at 155,000, which is relatively decent. But the thing that you like here is the 21,000 kilometers on clock. That's really low for a bike this old. He says it's newly tuned up and all that. These are a good set of accessories for the bike. His asking price is 155,000, which I think you can negotiate this a little bit lower. But generally, if the bike is in good condition, 155,000 is about perfect. But yeah, my first bike was a Super 4. I learned on it. Well, I bought it for, I think, maybe 125,000. Used it for good part of a year and a half, and then when I sold it for about 120,000. So this is the kind of bike that you can buy. You can try it out. You can try it riding if riding's for you, and if you don't like it, you can just move on and you can sell it and you won't lose as much money. So Super 4, always a good buy. It's just not. This one's interesting. How much is it? 500,000. Okay. Would I buy this? This is the Hayabusa, Suzuki Hayabusa. For those who don't know, the Suzuki Hayabusa at one point was the world's fastest bike, past 300 kilometers an hour, no problem. This one being sold at 500,000 is a US version with 30,000 kilometers on the clock. It's pretty nice. Yeah, I'd buy this. It's really a sports touring bike. It's a little bit heavy. It's not a sport bike, but at really high speeds, the reason why it looks like this, it's got this weird, a little bit of bulbous look, is because bikes like the Hayabusa was designed entirely with aerodynamics in mind. So when you're riding it, you get tucked in and you ride it really hard at high speed, and all the wind goes around your helmet and around you and around the bike, and you get to cut through the air a lot better. So if you're in the market for a sports tourer that can do long distance at an insanely fast speed, this one at 500,000, it's a little bit pricey, but again, you're getting what is the world's fastest bike at one point, and it's got a 1,300cc engine. That engine is bigger than most motorcycles, and not just motorcycles. It's bigger than most cars. So yeah, I like this bike. I'd buy this bike. Okay, this one's interesting. I personally wouldn't buy it. It's the Suzuki Gladius 650. 285,000. This is one of the first big bikes introduced by Suzuki locally. And when it first launched, I was still just getting into bikes, so I didn't really know much, and I actually liked the way it looked. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't like this headlamp. A lot of people don't like the weird shapes in the body. For a naked bike, it's a little bit too busy for me in terms of design. It's been replaced recently. Suzuki just launched the SV650, and I just actually wrote an article on Top Gear about the launch. So I'll post that on the Facebook page when I have the chance. But the Gladius, I wouldn't buy it, but interesting bike. It should be reliable. It is Japanese. So yeah, let's move on for a little bit. This one's a little sketchy. At 45,000, it's selling a VFR 400. Looks like a 90s model. Yeah, I would definitely skip this. This is too much. This bike's been posted for a really long time. I have no idea why. Maybe it's the paint job. Yeah. What else would I try here? Okay, this one's interesting. This is a bike. This one is definitely a bike I would buy. This is the BMW 650 GS Sertao. So what makes this bike special is that this was the time before BMW went into twin-cylinder 650, 700 and 800s. So this is actually the same engine that you get in the TR650. So it's a 650cc single-cylinder engine, so it's a thumper. And the nice thing about the Sertao is that when you look at it, it just screams adventure bike. So the GS, like worldwide, is the adventure bike. It started the whole trend of super adventure touring motorcycles. You want to go around the world, this is basically the bike for you. So as you can see here, it's got the engine guard, it's got the side guards, it's got nice knobbly tires front and rear. These are perfect for off-road. He's got the mounts on the side already and the rear, so that's a big cost that you don't have to pay for. And he's got the headlamps and the headlamp and turn indicator protectors. But yeah, if you're in the market for an adventure bike, if you want something that has the presence of an adventure bike, this BMW GS 650, this one I would buy. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed some time with me today to see what bikes I would buy. Let me know if you want to see more stuff like this, and I'll be sure to provide it. And I hope that I was able to help you understand the motorcycle market in the Philippines just a little bit better. And if you haven't yet, go to this site, Big Bikes Only Sell and Buy Philippines, and it is amazing. And you're going to have a lot of fun. So I have lost so many hours just going through a website and seeing what is or what's not. Or maybe you want to sell your bike. That's the perfect place to do so. Okay? So again, this is Kako from Kako Moto, and thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys next week.